What's good, everybody? The voice of WGC back in the building for the three-piece. Man, you can't tell us we don't fuck with the fans, man. You can't tell us we don't love this wrestling game and shit, man. Stop playing with us, man. Stop that. Alright, man, look. We got It's My Yard. He had a developer interview with Lionel Jinx discussing the locks, the bars, the cage that was my faction. What is happening with my faction and seeing the alternate attires and other modes for WWE 2K23? The question was asked, and here is Lionel's response. Alright. Lionel Jinx was asked about this about my faction. One common criticism from fans was some of this content was locked behind the my faction modes. Will this change in this year's iteration? Lionel responded with, "That's a tough one. See, off rip, that's a red flag, bruh. See, if we're asking important questions like if these certain versions of these wrestlers that we've been begging for to be on the default roster are going to be locked on my faction, and you respond with, that's a tough one, that don't get you scratching your head, bruh. After all the backlash they faced, and they come back and respond with, that's a tough one. What? Come on, bro. So when we look at that mode in particular, you know it's a smaller team that's developing and running that operation like the live ops operation. So it doesn't have the full resource like the main game, right? So when we're adding new superstars to the game, you get everything like from the entrances, the taunts, the movesets, entrances, victories, pyro, you know, everything that goes with the superstar parts. You can update them or change the color. That team is smaller than the rest of the dev team. And we only have truly 9 months to do it, right? You know, I find it mighty funny how you say you have 9 minutes to not lock a motherfucker behind my faction. But yet, somebody that has no correlation with 2K, no ties with y'all, they just solo dolo, content creators, they can whip up a better version of that same model within a week. 9 months. This is what I was talking about a while ago. Rip to the channel. But I was saying that if it's so difficult, why don't you just go ahead and hire these content creators on board? Because you're making a big deal like it's literally impossible to do. With all the revenue that you generate annually, 2K, come on, bruh. Stop with the excuses. Ain't no way one person is creating a better model than you, and not even half the time. Stop with that shit, man. So it's one of those things trying to weigh the options of how much freedom and how many people we are throwing at the development of the live ops part. I think most people would love that, but I think a lot of people would prefer a very steep roster on the WWE 2K24. So wait. You mean to tell me, let this sink in, bruh. You mean to tell me that you locked them behind my faction in 2K22? You're basically what you're telling me is you're trying to lock them behind my faction again in 2K23, and you're trying to prepare us for a very deep roster in 2K24. But Mr. Lionel Jinx, 2K, who's to say, especially with my faction being online this year, who's to say that if it gets really, really popular and y'all start really getting that bread like y'all do with NBA My Team, who's to say we don't get that roster in 2K24 and y'all completely pull the plug? How do we know that you're telling the truth? How do we know? You're just teasing right now. You're just trying to... Come on, bro. This is just bait. Like, just listen to what folk is saying, bro. I think if this mode keeps growing and we keep doing what we're... You see? I think if this mode keeps growing and we keep doing what we're doing... Boom. There it is. That's what we've been saying. The main focus is my faction. You open up 2K22 right now. What do you see? You see my faction plastered everywhere all over your screen. Coincidence? I think not. We can start entertaining those options. But it's really a difficult decision for us to support right now. Just because of the logistical challenges of trying to position the team to work on and fight or lose those parts of the game. I mean, honestly, I could care less if you lose my faction. I could care less. If you were to just remove my faction right now and you told that team to focus on just adding those models to the default roster, I would be happy. Honestly. It's tricky and we're still figuring it out. But we know it's on top of everyone's list to one day hopefully support it. When is this one day, my guy? When is this one day? Let's see what the people have to say, man. Clearly the answer is money. If these characters weren't locked behind my faction, there would be no reason to play that game mode. Same reason why you can't use Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls in an online game of NBA 2K. The answer is simple. They just want people to play my faction when COD people just want the parts that are locked behind it. What a meh answer. At least we know that they only have 9 months to work on the next game. Should just be every 2 years like COD or a live service game. Thank you. Thank you. And if you really think about it, 2K23 is really 2K22 reskinned. So think about this. Why didn't they just make 2K22 a live service game and just build on that? Even if it was just for 1 year. And they just cut the ties off at 2K23. Hey. Simple. Or maybe you could extend it 1 more year to 2K24, but still, if it's basically the same game, you could have basically just made it a live service game and add on to it, because it feels like with 2K23, they're basically digging under and grabbing all that extra stuff that they didn't add in 2K22 intentionally, like war games. Just little bits and bits and pieces that'll add up, that'll hopefully, let me rephrase that, hopefully add up to $70 or $120. Come on, bro. Yeah, rare air, Lionel. If it's something you can implement at the moment, then why do it at all? This is why we don't need a new game each year. Exactly. Exactly. If you having troubles, bruh, if it's that difficult, then just make it a live service game. The real reason they can't bank off you if the model is added in the other modes. Thank you. Because let this sink in, bruh. You think if all of these models were on the default roster, do you really honestly think that people will give a damn about my faction? I mean, some people would. People that love those Ultimate Team game modes. I will admit, I used to be in that category with Madden. But not anymore. But for those people who really, really, really love and are addicted to those Ultimate Team modes, I'm pretty sure they'll still play it. But I'm talking about the others. They could care less. And that's what we were used to back in the day. We just got the roster flat out. We played the game, played the story mode, and we just unlocked everybody. Simple as that. But now, you not only play Showcase, but you're in my faction. You got a whole new layer of the game, a whole digital card game with all these crazy badges and everything. Like, it's just wild. It reminds me of when they tried to add packs to Star Wars Battlefront. And it's sad that we didn't retaliate at all and get this shit out of our game, because it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I do not like where this is going, bruh. You can call it negativity. You can call it being a hater, whatever you want to call it. But you know deep down it's not true. We just speak in facts. It's constructive criticism. You know what happens when an Ultimate Team mode gets too big. It gives them more room to neglect everything else. Look at how trash Universe mode is. Look at how bare bones GM mode was. Look at how many match types that's been added in the last 10 years. Now imagine if my faction online can generate as much money as they do with NBA 2K My Team, or Park when people splurge on VC. Do you really honestly think that 2K24 would be better than 2K23 at that point? Or 2K22? Just let that sink in for a minute. We gotta stop this, man. It ain't, bro. Just trying to keep it real, man. Y'all are not getting the bigger picture. We're trying to help the community, bruh. Listen to what we saying and stop just jumping to conclusions for once. If we get too complacent, if we get too comfortable with this, if we are too gullible, we're going to go right back to square one, and we're going to get 2K20 again at some point in time. Or we're just going to keep getting reskins of 2K22. You say that you're comfortable right now playing it because it's only a year off. But imagine playing 2K22 for the next 4 years. With no true additions, no true changes, nothing revolutionary. Everything is the same for the next 4 years. That's cool, right? No, I didn't think so. This is crazy, man. But hey, it's another year where the content creators has to bail 2K out once again and add all these models to community creations. So I'm going to give a big shout out to the content creators. This is going to be another big year for you. Thank you for adding all these models that 2K refuses to add to the default roster. But anyways, finna head out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. And we out here. One love. God bless. See you in the next one. Peace.